All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you are doing absolutely wonderful out there. We are here at the FreeFlow Showcase. We are super excited to have you join us, whether on Facebook or on Zoom here. One of the best things about our show is that we are welcoming all performers to be able to come and share on our open mic, which we will be having a bit of an extended one tonight to be able to make sure that the people in our community are able to share some songs, some poetry, some comedy. We have actually a couple comedians as well, so which I'm really excited about. So yeah, if you're out there on Facebook right now and you're wanting to come and join us, let us know, message us, and we'll be able to get you to jump on here. So it has been an awesome week. I hope everybody's been enjoying this super warm weather. I can't even call it warm. It's hot, hot AF, and super intense. I actually work with like 2 kids and stuff, and they have a pool. And the kids like keep not wanting to go in the pool, and I'm just like, hey, we should definitely jump in the pool, right? It's gonna be super good for all of us. And the kids are like, let's keep playing Lego. And I'm like, yeah, Lego's super fun. How about 5 more minutes of this, and then we're all gonna jump in, and it'll be so refreshing. And the kids like, that's boring, because they don't actually know how to swim that well and stuff. And I'm like, I could teach you how to swim. You could be like Aquaman. And the kid's like, I don't want to be Aquaman. He's too big to be me. I want to be Aqualad. And I'm like, sure, whatever you want. It doesn't even matter. Like, let's just jump in. And so then we end up finally going into the pool, and one of the kids actually swims better than me. You know what I mean? He's like, I can't swim, and then he swims better than me. So it's like, I'm like, oh my God, does that mean that I can't swim? Like, I thought that I was really actually good at swimming because I could stay afloat, right? So it's just this weird like moment when the kid like is like, yeah, I'm not very good at swimming. And he's just like doing perfect like strokes in the water, and the mom comes out, and I'm like, have to be better than the kid because I told the parents I'm like really adept at this, and their children are super safe while I'm taking care of their kids. So I have to be like, I'm amazing at this. Wow, you know, but secretly I have one of the noodles like under my butt so that like when I'm swimming, it's just such like an interesting situation though. When I'm working with these kids, I'm learning so much like as well. One of the kids, he always wants to be evil characters, and he's always like, yeah, I want to be that evil character, and then like either like kidnap or like take on the bad guy, like, or the bad guys, which he's talking about the kids. You know what I mean? Like that. He's talking about the if you ever watch Ninjago, I don't know why anybody would watch Ninjago here unless you have kids, but the kids are obsessed with like getting these, like he wants the evil characters, his team. So they're actually like the Sky Ninjas or whatever. And he's always making up these intricate stories and all this stuff like that, right? And I'm trying to keep up. I'm like doing my research. I'm watching on Netflix, trying to like keep up. And then every time that I learn something, I start realizing there's no way I'm going to learn all this stuff, because literally this is all this kid does is learn about Ninjago, all that kind of stuff. But the funniest is watching the older brother who tells all these stories. He's like, yeah, and then the Sky Ninjas are going to go in here, and he's going to do this move, and then he's going to capture it, and he's going on this huge rant. And then the younger brother, who's like 3.5, he's just like, I am a ninja. I have a sword. You know, it's like so basic. And I'm like, that's more my speed. Like, can we just all play? Like, it's like whenever my brother and I watch a movie and he's like, the cinematography was so beautiful, and like the light hit so perfectly that it expressed the emotions so deeply. And then I'm like, I didn't fall asleep during the movie. Like, that's how, like, that's like all I'm thinking in the, you know? So for me, it's like I have to make it so much more basic in my mind, because it's just these huge, long, elaborate stories and all that stuff. So it really reminded me of myself and my brother. And one of the things that I'm going to scare the mom with is I'm going to tell her that like it's the same structure of my family. So she's going to also have a little sister. That's what like she's going to end up getting pregnant again and having another baby. Because like that's what happened to my family. I feel like that's going to happen to them as well, you know? And the last thing I'm going to share is that like, so when we were actually getting our Chinese names, my name is Ming, and my brother's name is Chong. So when you actually have Chong and Ming, that actually means intelligent. That means smart, right? So my grandfather named us that so that together we're like very smart, right? And then so my sister, when she was born, her name directly was Yan, and it directly translates into accident. Just kidding. That's not real. But then I like told my sister that, and she was just like, at least mom calls me her babe now and replaced you with me. And I was like, I didn't even know this, right? And it's interesting, like going visiting, it's like I find out all of these like things that my mom used to do sweetly with me. She didn't come up with new ones. She just stopped doing them with me and then does them with my sister, she's like 28. It's not like she's like a kid anymore or anything. So what I realized is that I actually made my sister realize this. I was like, well, maybe it's not that she loves you more. It's because she ended up getting lazy after my birth. She's like, oh, I don't need to come up with new ways to like love this kid or whatever. So but now my parents are actually grandparents, and I'm starting to realize that none of us, my brother, my sister, all of us were fighting for my parents' love. It actually means nothing because none of us are even remotely going to come close to my niece. Like, she is just going to always be on this pedestal of cuteness that like none of us are going to be able, like, even right now, if I ask my mom, mom, like, do you love me? Like, she'll be like, yeah. Like, it's like the first time I talked to her on the phone and I was like, about like how much I loved her. I was like, okay, bye mom. I love you. She's like, okay, bye. And just hangs up. Like, that's like the level. And then I remember one time we were finishing our conversation. I had to go. And then she was just like, okay, bye, Anto. And then right then I hung up because I didn't know she was going to say it. And then I called back and I was like, oh, hey mom, what were you saying? And she was just like, oh, just wear lots of sunscreen, which she wasn't talking about at all. It's really hot out, and then hung up. And I was like, no, my one chance to hear her tell me she loves me. It's like, God, you know? So, but yeah, that's
you hung up on your mom.
Sorry?
You hung up on your mom. That's horrible.
I know, right? Oh, it was the worst. I felt so bad. But yeah, those are just some random amusings from my week. I just wanted to share that with you guys, which I love being able to come in and just kind of like have an open idea of like what I want to share. And that's what I love about the space. You know, anybody out there who wants to come up and share some stories, you know, do some poetry, music, all that kind of stuff, completely welcome. We also are open to discussion tonight. One of the things that has been happening for the last month and a bit, we've had open discussions, especially about the Black Lives Matter and everything that has been happening. We are very open to this, and we are wanting to open it up to the community to have a bit more dialogue about this and how we can support being able to share about ourselves more and about what's happening out in the world. So a lot of political things have been coming up. So we are very open to that, and us in the community, we are wanting to be able to put that out to you guys. If you guys are wanting to share any of this stuff, this is all very open for that. But at the same time, we also want to highlight that we are not personally professionals in that field of being able to hold the space of that. So we're going to do our best in this. And that is one thing that we also wanted to address, is that we are going to be taking a little bit of time after tonight's show to be able to do a little bit more research, take some workshops, and learn a little bit more about how to hold the space a little bit better so that we can get into some dialogue like that, so a little bit deeper, right? So for any of our friends out there, anybody in our community who is interested in wanting to support any of that growth and wants to have some of the conversations with us, please let us know. We're super excited about, you know, growing together and learning together in that way. So we do appreciate all the patience that has happened out there from our community, from you guys, as well as all the performers that have been on our show. But I wanted to pass it over a little bit to Adrian, have him, you know, talk a little bit and share some of his ideas if you'd like. And also, I just want to look at his beautiful face right now, you know? So everybody give a lot of love to Adrian. Share a little bit. Give it up for him.
Drop that. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to FreeFlow Showcase. We is here on another Saturday night in quarantine. Yes, in the beautiful Toronto, T.6 is what we call it. Anyways, life goes on. Stuck inside, staring out the windows. Days are getting longer, though. It's just starting to get dark now. And, yeah, we're trying to make it through, trying to survive. George Floyd is causing havoc. But before I get into that, I just want to say, so, and it was funny because I have a pool story, too. I, too, was hanging out with a youngin' at Canada Day. But unlike you, we were swimming, we were diving into the pool. And at one point we were playing slow motion where I would hold him and we're on the diving board and we'd pretend to dive, but we had to do it in slow motion. So we'd sit there for like a minute and then we'd spring off the board and jump in the air. And just as we land in the water, I let him go and I dive, we flow splash. Yeah, I'll show you the video. It's hilarious. Anyways, I had a great Canada Day, just so you know, people. I think I'm tan. I got a little bit of color. I don't know if you can notice it. Anyways, yeah, so back to serious stuff. So we've been holding space here for the last month in response to the George Floyd and the killings and the protests and everything and the whole Black Lives Matter. And it's been a learning experience. It's been a great. opportunity to share and to grow and to listen to other people's voices, because that's what we really need to do right now, is to listen. Everyone needs to slow down and listen and process and think and feel. And the conversations are not easy. They're hard. I know even amongst us, the FreeFlow crew, we've been having our discussions, and it's like, we're like G-Force, we're 5 men and women, and we're strong and we're united, we're brothers and sisters, but it's challenging. But we're doing our best. We're doing our best. And as Anto said, we decided that we really need to look for outside help to help us with this space, because there's a lot of issues that we're not equipped to deal with, and we want to be part of the healing process, because that's what's really needed right now is guidance to help us and instruct us what we're feeling and what we're dealing with, because to tell you the truth, everyone is dealing with this. So I'm part of I'm part of the Green Party, and I'm part of Cycle Toronto. And with Cycle Toronto, we're having the same issues right now. We're dealing with anti-oppression training and EDI training. We're bringing in a facilitator to have discussions with our board and our staff. Same thing with the Green Party. Tomorrow we're having the first part of 3 training in anti-oppression and racism training. Something that our board of directors wanted to do for a while now, but we're doing it. So there's a lot going on in society, and I think FreeFlow is reflecting that. So it's interesting. It's exciting because we're witnessing evolution. We're witnessing growth amongst ourselves and people, and how we're dealing with our history, because it's a shared history. We're all in this together. I mean, I'm the oldest of pretty much all of you here, but the average age is what, 30, 35, 40. So we've been around for 40 years. What the fuck do we know? What the hell do we know? We don't know a lot. We're born into this, and we're trying to adapt and grow and make friends and families and, raise kids and go through life. It's a lot to handle at one time, but I think the biggest thing is just to realize that we are brothers and sisters. We are one family. It's that simple. It's one race on the planet, and we're just learning and living as we go. So let's bring out the music. Let's bring in the dancing clowns and the shiny hats, and let's have a show.
Yo, dancing clown. I tried to book them, but they told me that their cost was way too expensive. So I don't know how many dancing clowns that we have. Oh, Daniel's dancing.
Daniel's dancing. We got a clown over there.
Great. But yeah, I wanted to also just mention that it being summer and stuff like that, I honestly think that it's a really great opportunity, as Adrian was saying, like connecting to the growth and the idea of that. I think that a lot of it is like, a lot of times, especially since we've been running the show every single Saturday, it's just been quite a lot in that terms of that. So to be able to actually go in and to be able to do the work, the inner work that we're needing to be able to do. But also one of the things that we want to put out there too is if anybody out there is going through some of this stuff on their own and they're feeling like they're needing to like reach out or that kind of stuff, I personally am open to be able to have some of the conversations about some of the challenges that people may be going through. So if you guys are interested in that, just let us know. We want to be able to still be a community within that time, but we are going to be taking a little bit of a break inside of that. So, but yeah, so one of the things that I would love to be able to share though is that we have so many great performers out there. I don't know if they are ready at all at this time, but I do want to give a shout out right now to Narani, who has been joining us every single week. It is amazing to be able to know out in Nigeria, you are hanging out and being so wonderful and joining us every single week and the discussions, everything we've had. I don't know if you're out there right now ready to be able to share, but I would love it if you were. So Narani, are you cool to be able to share one of your songs at this time, or how are you feeling?
Oh my God! Hi.
Hi.
Hello, everybody. Hello, beautiful people.
Hello,
Put me
hello.
on the spot. Okay, let me see. Well, does someone want to say something when I look for it, and then like I will share it? Anto?
Oh yeah, for sure. I could say a couple things. I just thought that extra like 30 seconds was uncomfortable enough in the fun way that we could all laugh about how I felt sometimes. Sometimes that happens at the beginning and it's like going live on Facebook and I don't notice it. And then I'm like watching the video later and it's just me like waiting for the Facebook to start. And then it's like 45 seconds. Yeah, no problem. I can say a couple things for sure.
Today, on that note, today is by far the longest, most awkward silence at the beginning. probably a good like 85 seconds where you're just like,
Oh,
no,
no.
I'm just playing with you. It was a bit long. It doesn't matter. It's all good.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, definitely could share a little something as well. So I did mention last week that it was my grandma's birthday, and I wanted to just give a quick story of like when I first moved into this house. So I remember when I was a kid, I would always come here and I would always bring my own towel, and I never brought my own towel anywhere, but my grandma never put her towels into the dryer. She would always just like have them the wash, and then she would like sun dry them, or like so they were always as if I was just like ripping into my skin, like it just hurts so much, right? Like because it was like as if I'm just using the sandpaper, you know what I mean? So I remember when I moved back into here, the first thing that I did was, even though I brought my own towels, I was like, no, like I want to remember my grandma the way I remembered it when I was a kid. So I took a shower and I took one of the actual towels and I used it like as I had before, and I swear it was just like ripping through my skin pretty much. And I was like, oh, Papa, I missed and loved you so much. You know, like it's just such a weird remembering as a kid thing. And I definitely am not going to do it again, but it was like it was a special moment. You know, I felt like she was here with me.
Bro, you're describing Stockholm syndrome.
No,
horrible.
She didn't keep me. Yeah, she didn't keep me stuck in the house or anything. But yeah, I always had fun moments with my Papa. You know, like, and she always told it like it is. I remember one time she like cussed out one of the servers. Not the server that she was with, but like it was like the head server, because she asked him like 3 times for water for the whole table. So she didn't cuss him out. She said to him like, "You're not doing your job." So she literally got up and went to the kitchen and brought back 10, like a whole tray of 10 waters for all of the kids. And we were all like, yeah, Papa. And then the guy came back after and he was just like, I'm so sorry. Like, it was such a funny moment though. Just like a 80-year-old woman, just like kind of like going to the back by herself, you know? So, but yeah, okay. I gotta get Narani on. I could tell all stories all night, guys, but it's not the Anto Chan show. It is free flow. I want this to flow more. I want you guys to feel the love that we have. I want you guys to see all the work that we're putting into this. And I want to give lots of love to Narani joining us literally in the last like 4 weeks, I believe. And we've been hanging out late night too. So give a big round of applause. Lots of love in Nigeria. Narani, everybody. Give it up.
Oh hey guys. Hey.
Yo.
Just gonna share my song "Beautiful Souls." It's part of like the Otherworldly 4-piece EP I made with a friend. So enjoy, my dears.
That was crazy good.
Aw, thanks, guys.
And it also makes me happy to see how many tabs Daniel has open too, because I usually feel bad for having so many. But yes, guys, lots of love to Narani. That was an amazing song. I want to hear more. Can we have more? Can you show one of your videos?
Thank you.
There's-
Muted.
I saw one of Narani's videos. It was a music video. It was like outside under a tree, like for a quartet, maybe 4 of you.
Yes,
It
that was so
good.
cool.
Oh, did you see it too? Oh man, that was so
We
good.
watched it last week, Daniel.
Oh, okay, cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
And sorry, Anto, you were talking about how you hung up on your mom, and I just realized my mom sent me a text an hour ago, and I didn't respond to her. So I'm like, I can't leave now. I'm like, I can't leave now, but I gotta call my mom. So I'm just gonna call my mom for a second here.
We want to hear.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I'm super down though to if we wanted to show one more Narani video, if you're cool with that, Narani. The one from last week I'm even into. What was it called again? You guys remember?
Yes, it's called How Could You? Oh, you want to play that one? All right, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
I got it loaded up here, so
Yeah, no worries. As long as you do it before you call your mom, though, we can't be in the queue like that.
we've not. Yeah, no. It's good to talk to her.
Thanks, guys.
No problem. Yeah, did you want to say a couple words about like the process of actually getting the shoot and stuff like that? That would be really interesting to like learn how you kind of assembled your team.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, it was actually a very interesting day. I actually got a friend to help me like direct the video because usually I'm behind the camera and this time I just wanted to relax. So she did that and a friend of mine like shot the video as well. So it was all like very DIY and it was just a fun day with the band and just hanging out and doing art. We just all loved our time there. So I'm really glad like how it worked out. We just DIY shoot and whatever. So yeah.
Nice. I'm excited to see it again. Definitely.
Thanks.
All right, let's do this.
Here we go.
You see that I'm fighting to breathe. You just came and you invaded. You just came and you invaded. You can't you see that I'm fighting to breathe? You just came and you invaded. You just came and you invaded. How could you? 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 asleep, a song in you. My dreams were my happy place. How could you think that? How could you? 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 Right. Heart and washed it up helplessly. I sunk in you. My dreams were my happy place. How could you take the room?
Woo! So good. Wow, amazing.
Thank you so much. I just want to give a shout out to the banjo. Like, they're not here, but I'm sure they're feeling the spirit. They're sneezing somewhere because their stuff is playing. Yeah.
What are the names? If you want to let us know, if you wanted to give them a proper shout out, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zainab, you met Zainab. She's on the drums. Zainab Wilson. Spencer Bridgewater on the bass. Alex Purcell on the guitar. May Akanuma on the saxophone. And Bridget, I just forget her last name right now, on the violin. She's not in the video though. She couldn't make it.
And Nurani on the vocals. Hey.
Gracias.
That's why I did that too. I also wanted to make sure that we gave you a big shout out. That was amazing. Anybody who has not seen that video, definitely check it out again if you can.
Yo, Nurani, that's a badass track. Like, great vocals, great instrumentation, and well produced. That's a seriously good track, woman. I love it.
Oh, thank you so much. Anybody who like loves do music and stuff, do Live of the Floor, man. You feel it a lot more. The dynamic work together, Live of the Floor, is beautiful.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. I'm just like taking it all in. Even though I've seen that video before, there were so many things that I noticed this time that was just like even brought it to the next level. Because last time I felt like it was so much, I was just watching you sing and everything, but this time, like, I was like able to take in the whole scope and what it must have felt like being there on that day, you know? And especially it being so hot out right now, it's just like, felt like it was just in the hotness of like the whole thing, and we're just
it was beautiful. I missed my backyard. My backyard had like, it was like a whole jungle. It was like a wild zone with huge trees and like stuff. So it was such a beautiful day. We had like a lot of shade stroke sun. And, you know, I don't feel like a queen every day, but that day I felt like a queen.
You are a queen every day. So where was the shot? Which city?
It's in Parkdale. Like, that's like in Parkdale, my backyard. It's like,
in Parkdale in Toronto.
Hey.
Yes.
No way.
Yeah, I had like this hidden gem like back there. No, anybody that came to visit me, because they had to go to the back door, they'd be like, "Oh, you have this here?" I'm like, "Yup." Lucky.
I thought that was overseas somewhere. I thought it was like somewhere overseas.
Yeah, I thought it was like in I don't know, Nigeria or someplace in Europe or something.
No, that's Parkdale, yo. Hey,
well, pick up T-Dot.
I know.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right, guys. Everybody, one more time. Unmute yourselves and give lots of love to Nurani. Just so wonderful to have you here. Big round of applause.
You're on,
Yes,
you're
yes,
on.
yes.
Two beautiful people.
For sure. Okay, great. So I'm gonna bring up our. I love. I still say, even though I've been doing shows for so long, I'm gonna bring up our next performer. It's like as if we're on a stage, like, but we are. But it's like, you know what I mean? Like, but so the next performer, I actually met him in Hong Kong when I was living there, 2014, I think, 2015. And we ended up doing some great shows there. I actually ran a show called The Variety Party, and it was like I was doing only stand-up, mostly shows there, and then I ended up getting a little bit into the variety shows. And I really urged our next performer. He was doing a lot of stand-up, and I'd heard him play music and stuff, but I wanted him to do both at the same time. That's all I wanted to see from him, and he finally agreed. And then he was able to get so many of his friends to come out. We drank a lot of Hong Kong Island iced teas. We got super wasted and then celebrated together. And to have him on my on this show and this amazing platform of FreeFlow here together is just such an honor, and I'm so excited to bring him up. So give lots of love right now to Arun Govada, everybody,
Hey.
all the way in New Jersey.
From New Jersey. How are you guys? Everyone doing good?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys can hear me. Sounds good.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you for having me. Guys, Anto, it's really nice to meet all of you. I actually haven't performed music in a long time, comedy in a long time. I've just been so busy at work, and I'm glad we're in quarantine so I can like reassess what's important. And yeah, I mean, this is a song. I mean, I like to do mashups because my head is always like 1 foot here, 1 foot there. Grew up in Hong Kong, born in Pittsburgh, Indian background, speak Chinese, British English with an American accent. It's like, you know, a mind F basically. So I think when I listen to songs, I hear other songs over other songs. I hope you guys like this mashup. Let's see if the sound works.
Have fun. Everybody give lots of love. Unmute yourself if you want really quick.
Oh, wait, hang on. I have to do the whole share screen thing again, right?
Yes.
Music or computer sound. Share. Hello. You guys can hear me. I'm sharing the sound. It's working. All right.
I dive into frozen waves where the past comes back to life. Fight fear for the selfish pain, and it's worth it every time. Hold still right before we crash, 'cause we both know how this ends. A clock ticks till it breaks your glass, and I drown in you again. Oh, you are a piece of me I wish I didn't need, chasing relentlessly, still fighting, I don't know why. All of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me, I give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning. Even when I lose, I'm winning. If our love is tragedy, why are you my remedy? If our love is insanity, why are you my clarity? How many times do I have to tell you? Even when you're crying, you're beautiful too. The world is beating you down. I'm around through every mood. You're my downfall, you're my muse, my worst distraction, my rhythm and blues. I can't stop singing, it's ringing in my head for you. My head's underwater, 'cause all me loves all you. Love your curves and all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me. I give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning. Even when I lose our love is a tragedy. Why are you my remedy? If our love is insanity, why are you my clarity? Cards on the table, showing heart, risking it all, though it's hard. 'Cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me. Give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning. Even when I lose and lose, 'cause I give your all to me. And you give me all you. If our love is tragedy, why are you my remedy? If our love is insanity, why are you my clarity?
Thank you guys.
Oh,
Wow.
So
Awesome.
good.
Thank you guys.
Awesome.
Mashup.
Yo, did you want to do one more?
I don't have another like mashup
That's okay.
that I can pull out of my butt.
You can
but
sing Jingle Bells. We'll listen.
Yeah.
I can sing. I'll sing. Let me do an Ed Sheeran song. Is that cool?
Sure.
Oh,
Oh,
Ed.
whatever you want.
Actually, anyone but Ed. I'm just kidding. No, sorry.
Anyone
It's just funny because we're like, yeah, anything. And then we're like, oh.
but
No, that's great, man. Definitely.
All right. Let's see if this works.
I found a love for me. Darling, just dive right in. Follow my lead. Well, I found a girl, beautiful and sweet. I never knew you were the someone waiting for me. 'Cause we were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was. I will not give you up this time, darling, just kiss me slow. Your heart is all I own, and in your eyes, your whole in mine. Baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass, listening to our favorite song. When you said you looked a mess, I whispered underneath my breath, but you heard it, darling. You look perfect tonight. Well, I found a woman stronger than anyone I know. She shares my dreams. I hope that someday I'll share her home. I found love to carry more than just my secret. Carry love, carry children of our own. all odds, I know we'll be alright. This time, darling, just hold my hand. Be my girl, I'll be your man. I see my future in your eyes, please, baby. Dancing in the dark with you between my arms. Listening to our fate when I saw you in the dress, looking so beautiful. I know darling, you look perfect tonight.
Interlude. When I sing at weddings, these are so awkward, these moments. All the aunties are just cheering me on, giving me eyes.
In the dark, you between my arms, barefoot on the grass, listening to our favorite song. I have faith in what I see. Now I know I have met an angel in person. She looks perfect. I don't deserve this. You look perfect tonight.
Thank you guys.
Hey.
Hey, buddy. Guys, give a big round of applause to Arun Govada.
Yeah.
Good
Thank
job.
This is
you.
so gorgeous.
Thank
I
you so
pretended
much.
you were serenading me.
Thank you guys.
Yo, hold up.
That's what he was doing.
Turns, hey? All you aunties here, hold up, I'm first on the list.
Yo, you got it. Okay, so you've never done a Zoom show, you said, right? This is your first Zoom show?
This is the first time, yeah, for sure.
So I don't know if you see at the bottom, there's a thing that's chat. There's like probably like 50 something or whatever. There's a lot of numbers beside the word chat. You could click that and everybody was writing stuff about your performance and just fanning out on how great you were. So everybody
Oh
give
my
lots of love one
God.
more time to Arun Govada. Absolutely
Oh,
amazing
thank you
performer.
so
Give him lots
much.
of love.
Thank you so much, guys. Anto, thank you so much for having me on. It's super, like,
No problem. I
made my
take
day.
full responsibility for your success. You're welcome.
Thank you, man.
All of it.
Oh my God. Don't look at Daniel's video right now. Oh my God. Look, this is my business card when we first met.
Oh my God.
Wait, Anto, let me show you something. I was cleaning out my house and I found two things that'll make you super happy.
Oh my God. Guys, this is not the Anto Chan show, guys. Come on. Don't make it
great.
about me.
I got a card to share.
At the Endo Chan show.
Right now it
Oh my
is.
God, it's my face. What?
Who did that? My
Do you remember
God.
these buttons?
Oh my God, yes. Yo, show that button again. Low Fu Zi.
And then this one.
What's that one? I can't see. Oh, yes.
When
happening?
you first said, Arun, do you want a button? I was so confused. I don't know what these are. Like, I was looking at our shirt to see if I had like a missing button or something. And then now I have these. They've been with me like
Nice.
many, many years. I miss you,
That's
bro.
great, man. Yes, so grateful you got to be on the show. We'll let you know. We'll be back in about a month or so. I think at the 1st of August or something. So
Cool.
we'll let you know, and you could definitely come by and share a little bit more. Just so a couple of the people in the room could fan out again. That was so cute.
I'll do an original one next time.
Cool.
Sounds good, man. No problem.
Are you
All
on?
right, thanks, man.
Are you on social media at all, Arun? Are you on?
Oh
Instagram?
yeah. Typical middle child. My handle is listen to Arun. Mom, Dad, listen. Listen to Arun. There we go.
Yo, what's the most middle child thing that you do? What, like you said, you're typical middle child. What's something that you do?
Hug myself, I guess.
What?
What about like? Do you like fight for attention? Is that something you do?
I don't know. It's very weird because my older brother didn't try in school at all, and then I went into school, and then all the teachers didn't expect anything, And then I just tried 10%, and they were like, "My God, he's a genius!" And then I kept like doing everything, and then my little brother came, and they expected a genius, and he like tried like half as much, and they're like, "Oh my God, he needs to be checked." So I think my middle child syndrome, I don't know, it's kind of non-traditional because yeah, my brothers when I was growing up, they're like, "Damn, this guy again singing, no."
That's so funny. All right, great. Well, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate you being on the show. We're excited to see your original stuff next time. And yeah, I know it's going to be awesome. So it's going to be great.
Snaps for everyone.
Yeah,
snaps.
I'm also the middle child, and definitely like the things that people say about middle children, like always wanting attention and always just like doing all these things to like, you know, bad at listening, all these random things that they say about middle children. I definitely have like multiple of those things. So always wanted my mom's and parents' attention a lot more. So, but yeah, that's definitely like interesting to talk about too. I also found out recently that my therapist is a middle child, which is why she was able to assess me so well. So huge shout out to Natalie out there, wherever you are.
Me,
Daniel,
Anto.
yeah, what's up?
I'm a middle child too. That's why I know you.
Yes, no worries. That's good that you get me then. I appreciate that. Anybody else out there who's a middle child? Anybody else? No?
Watch us all be middle children.
That would be funny.
So if you're the only child, would that still be considered the middle child?
No.
No, I don't think so.
No.
No, I don't think so. Yeah. Okay, cool. Great. Well, we got to keep the show rolling. I don't know if Daniel, did you say you had something you wanted to share? No, you good?
Oh, that's good. We were just sharing cards. I was just gonna share how depressed I was at 18. Look how angry this guy was.
Depressed at 18.
Look how angry I was.
It's like the same person.
I know. Come a long way.
Good job, buddy.
Could you show that picture again?
Sure.
That was you? That's you?
Sure, that was me 12 years ago.
Wow.
Oh.
Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's awesome, man.
not a friend in the world.
And look at your beautiful face now, smiling. Not that that face was not beautiful as well, just in a very different way. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, we got to keep the show rolling, though. It is awesome to be able to, you know, still be in the space, be able to share some music. Absolutely loved what Arun shared, and also just being able to like see the growth. I saw him like 5 years ago, you know, and he was pretty good then, but my God, he's so good now. And just being able to see growth is one of my favorite things about the show and about like life in general. And I really connect to what Adrian was saying earlier, the idea that like the show really represents like what's happening in society, you know, and like for us to be able to have a platform that kind of reflects society to a certain degree, like I do appreciate that. And we are going to consistently be working to make the space better, like as we had mentioned. So I am going to have our next performer. If everybody out there wants to give a huge round of applause. They were able to join us last week, shared some incredibly deep insights and very important words, and I'm really excited to have them back. I feel like we have lots to learn that from them. So everybody give a huge round of applause to Lemoy, everybody. Give it a lot of love right now. Yeah. Hey. There you are. Hi.
Who's that?
Who's this?
Yeah, who's that?
This is my daughter.
Hi, daughter. What's your name?
Jahara.
Hi, Jahara. Nice to see you.
Okay, go sit down. You can stay, but just sit down somewhere. You want to stay? Okay, bye. Okay, poem. I used to be ashamed of the loud reverberations of my voice as it filled the room. I guess that's what happens when what you use to state your truth in the world is equated with whether or not people will choose you. Don't laugh too loud, exuberant joy. Don't shrill too bold statements of self-affirmation. Don't rain down like volcanic lava or warm summer rain or cleansing shower streams words of poetic revelation. Don't let your words of poetic revelation be too stiff or too holding or too marvelous even. Be smooth sometimes and be quiet always. Don't say things like, I love you, or I need you, or I see you, or you are too less for me, or I know that you can be more for you. Don't say those things too much. For to give of yourself in outside terms is seen as a sign of weakness. And there are those among us who still haven't learned that our weakness is also for our strengthening. I take up space. In a world that sees wide open mouths as threatening, don't let your mouth be too round when you say no. Don't grin too hard or too fast when you say yes. Because respectable folk don't like a wild woman who fills rooms with her voice without their consent. If you speak without their consent, they will never choose you. Less. That is such a relief to this voice that is tired of wallflowering in corners too dust-free to have been placed there by accident. Please tell them that I have already chosen myself. Thank you.
Whoa!
That's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Woo-hoo.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Love it.
So good.
So
Yo.
good.
I'm like that bunny rabbit in your background right now, just eyes open like.
Wait, Anto, this is going back to you and your brother. Like, your brother, what did you think about that? And you're
That
like,
was-
I like the volume.
that was so good. Thank you so much,
good.
Lamoy. Really appreciate you sharing.
Wow, it's amazing.
Your rhythm and the flow in which you speak is so powerful, so deliberate but natural. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. I've been doing spoken word for like a decade. So it's something that I've practiced and I've worked on. Of course, I'm also just naturally talented.
Come on. Well, you
Of
are
course.
Jamaican after all, right?
Exactly. Bup. I'm Jamaican, so we have that natural cadence. But it's definitely something that I've also worked on to be able to still make people stop and
It's
think
such
about what
a
I'm saying.
balance between like natural speaking and the
Yeah.
cadence of like slam poetry, but it's like I feel there's a rigidity of slam poetry that you've taken a step back from and then had more of your natural voice step forward, and it was just like so fucking on point. Of like, I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's an
10
absolute pleasure to listen to. Sorry, that's the last thing I'll say.
It
Yeah.
like honestly, like I felt that. Like I felt it in me, and it was like I felt so moved. I was like, it just your words just flew, like resonated with my energy and just how I was feeling, and yeah, it was really beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Did you have one more you'd like to share, or that was the one that you wanted to share tonight?
Got one more.
One. Okay. Yeah.
That one, Amanda.
One more. Okay. Yeah. I'll do one more.
Woo-hoo.
10 years of decadence.
A decadence. Okay. I'll do one more
Can I share it?
if it will open.
It's worth the wait.
What does Lemoy mean? I don't know. It's actually pronounced Lemoy.
Wow.
So if you do it like literal French, it's the me, which is very accurate because I'm super self-absorbed.
Well, honey, the you is good.
The me is really good. All right. Okay. This one is called Growth is a Home. Be exhausting. Be the one that demands more. The one that they say people don't like or want. or desire or need even. Be that one. Be glorious in all of your ways, even the ways you create from the broken pieces of your majesty. Show them the broken pieces of your majesty. Tell them the stories of the broken pieces of your majesty, and let your words stretch them to popping bones and golden hued stretch marks. Let them tire of your saccharine waterfall, stunning to look at, but damn, they will drown if they cannot hold on to themselves. Let your being be so bright and so illuminating like sun, that darkness finds a home in you, that their darkness shifts, uncomfortable in being less than the breeding ground for a greatness that grows in the cool of the night, that they feel the growl of an unsatisfied appetite, not starving, no. Let the ones that find you be so full of air, of themselves, of contentment without measure, of pain, of heartbreak, of need. Well, maybe starving, yes. Because being full of empty ain't no way to live a healed life. Exhaust them to tears. Tired feet running, want nowhere to go but home, and some will stay, grateful for being seen and for the invitation to rest. And some will be too scared of their own shadow, and they will keep on running. Bless. They will come back to get some more. And even if they don't, even if you run them too ragged with your questions and your energy that pulls shattered shards from sliced skin, even if they continue living on tired feet with pieces of shatter decorating their existence, your words are seeds. The brilliance of your lights is unforgettable. And I promise you, their spirit will remember you. Thank you.
Wow.
Amazing. I want
My
to
spirit's
wake up
gonna
to
remember
that.
you.
I want to wake up to that every morning. That is such a enriching, I don't know, rejuvenating. Wow.
Yeah, good. Can you record that and then sell it, and so we can listen to it as like daily affirmation?
For sure.
Yeah, for real.
Like, I'm serious.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a very empowering one. Like you to feel it and just to like be energized by it. It's
Can I
beautiful.
call you
Yeah.
every morning and ask you?
Pardon?
Can I call you every morning now? I'm just like, hey, can we? Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that art at its best, it affects your soul. It affects what you know, how you feel, and your steps, your actionable steps. Really good art brings you alignment with all three of those things. And so if I can do that for somebody, that is pretty dope.
Nice.
That's amazing. And like just to be able to see like the work that you put into yourself, for sure, to be able to be strong enough to be able to hold that basically inside of yourself, but also to share with others, to be like, this is the path that I've taken to be able to empower myself to be able to share this. That to me definitely is like the multiple layers of what art truly should be. And that's the work. That's really the work that here at FreeFlow, we were just talking about, of what we're wanting to take some time to go and really be able to connect to what it is that you just shared in that way. If our art can be all of the layers and our space can consistently push people to create art this way, that is like strength, you know, in that way. And I really do appreciate you sharing that. So good. So good.
Speaking of layers, we gotta check this out, all right? Because it's beautiful. It is a academic science and astronomy acronym talking about the layers of our environment, all the way from the inner core of the Earth to the outer core, the mesosphere, the asthenosphere.
What?
So LAMOI. It's an academic abbreviation. So add that to the list because you got.
That is so dope.
Nice.
Oh my God! Look how like universal I am. What is this? The stars are literally like flowing through my being. How dare I?
How dare I? No, it's because you're a bad gal. What do you mean?
But yeah.
Can I say, Lemoy, your first poem reminded me of when I was a young boy.
Oh
And
yeah.
we used to go to picnics with my family to like Lake Simcoe by the water. You'd have like about, I don't know, a convoy of like 12 cars and about 6 or 7 families. You drive and you bring your food. You cook all day. It's the day before Saturday.
Yeah.
Chicken and rice and salad.
Yep.
You get up early Sunday morning. You drive and you spend all day playing by the water. I don't know why. That's what your poem reminded me of. It was just like maybe because you remind me of my aunts and my mom and my family.
Now, did you have bully beef sandwich?
Yes. Are you kidding me? On the pumpernickel bread, on the brown bread.
Yes. I see you. All right.
For real.
That's dope. All right. Peace, guys.
Thanks.
Enjoy.
Peace.
Thank you so much, Lemoy. Really appreciate it. All right. Yo, that was so good. This makes me so happy. We want to be able to definitely have you come back at some point. I love what we discovered as well. Like Lamoy is like the me, and then also the layers that were coming out into the 5 layers of LAMOI. Like, and then the final one is like the inner state. Like, that's amazing. Yeah. So that's really cool. Yeah, that's why we love having Daniel here too. He's just like, check this out. Damn.
One more idea as well, and it came to me like last week, but it was like it would be really cool if we had like a free flow mixtape kind of thing where everybody put down a song, you know, so we could have a poetry version and a music version, and then it's like the free flow mixtape, you know, and we could
that's great. We have to shoot it kind of like the old school basketball mixtape, the and one mixtapes. Like,
how'd they do that?
Yeah, it was just like very they like gather a lot of people and then they have like pickup game kind of thing. So it's like it could be very like communal. We all go to one place and then we film them or record them all at once.
And I'll pass them out in a Elmo costume in Times Square.
Yeah, go to New York. Exactly. That's actually, I don't know if you know the story of and one mixtape, but it's amazing. That's actually how they did it. They filmed these people playing basketball, just like incredibly, just some next level basketball players. They made like an actual mixtape and then they sold them I think it was in New York, but they were selling them like just like hand to hand in that way. And it's like, that's how it grew. And then they just got more. It was just an amazing idea of like, and that's what I really love. I love being on the ground, on the street in that way. And too, and like, I'm all about like street performance. I don't know if I've ever shared this with many people out there, but a couple people might know about it, but I actually was doing what I called the world's largest open mic. And what it was, it's called Amplifier World. And I would set up at Queen and John, or it'd be Bay and Dundas, and I would have my little mini amp. And then we would just like share on the street. And I'd be like, anybody who wants to jump on, you're welcome to, like anybody. And I want to tell you guys about a moment that was like just magic. I remember there was like just being able to be on the corner of the street. And then someone actually came up and it was their partner's birthday. And they sung like a version of Happy Birthday I've never heard before. And it was like just standing in between like the love of the two. I was standing here, and then one person was here, one person on the other side. And then they grabbed the microphone and then they're just like serenading them. But I was like right there too. And I just like felt this like beautiful love. And it was so random, right? And that's one of the things of why I think the open mic is so powerful and so important, is because it's like, you never know what's going to happen. You don't know who's going to be sharing that, all that stuff. So I really hope that anybody out there in right here, right now, to feel kind of like the vibe I had for my world's largest open mic, is if you're feeling it and you're feeling inspired, let me know. I'd love to put you on the show. If you're watching us on Facebook, come and join us in here and be able to come out and, you know, share your voice as well. It's so beautiful to be able to have a space where people can share themselves and open up in this way. So one more time though, huge shout out to Lemoy for you know, all this support and love that we felt inside of your poetry. It was just like, I felt like it was just like both of those poems were so necessary, you know. So it's like the outward as well as the inward work for us to continue to grow. So okay, I could babble on all night. That's what I know. That's what I do. Yeah,
and just shout out to Aisha's cat. It's the cutest cat on the planet. Can we see her? Look at the cat.
Yes, look at this kitty.
Kitty is so cute.
Oh, now she knows we're watching. Yeah, she hang out.
Adorable.
Now she knows, but yeah,
okay. Sorry.
She's always sitting like next to me, but yeah, she knows she's on spot, so she's like, ah.
It's sassy.
Sure, for sure.
She loves
Okay,
to listen to everyone. So
Yes. Okay. Dope, dope, dope. So cute. What's your cat's name? You said?
Tula.
Tula. Nice to meet you, Tula. Yes. She's perfect.
Oh, Anto.
Perfect.
How's everybody feline out there? Okay, so some of the faces. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we gotta keep the show rolling. I just took way too long just going on my huge rant about open mics and love of that, but I'm super excited to bring up our next performer. He's not on the open mic really, but he is, but he's not, you know, he's been one of our feature artists. He recently actually released his album, and his actual music has just been playing like in my car all week. 2020 vibes, that's what I called the playlist, and it's just been so great to be able to listen to him create. And I made a bunch of his buttons, and I'm super happy to have him on the show. I hope he's listening out there so he knows that I'm talking about him. Give a lot of love to T-Bay, everybody. Yo, give it up.
Hey.
Hey. Hey.
How's it going, everyone?
It's going.
Nice.
Good.
So, what's up?
What's up? Are you giving a tour through your room or what?
Say that again, sorry?
Are you giving us a tour of your room or what?
You want a little mini tour?
Let's see it, bro. It looks
Didn't you say you were going to?
It's actually very messy right now, but
just don't show us the floor.
This is a studio little area here. That's the microphone.
Nice.
This is like the wall. That's the Kawhi shot.
Oh, you got that shot. Nice.
Yeah. Ronaldinho, my favorite soccer player.
Yeah, he's good.
Kid Cudi, my favorite artist.
Nice.
Then yeah, a bunch of got Bob there, Jimi Hendrix.
Did you think of ever calling your rap name Kid Cutie?
Kid Cutie?
No.
I did. Is that what I gotta change it to? Kid Cutie?
T-Bay, I have a very important question.
Yes.
So 2 weeks ago, you performed a song, and it's called "I Think You Knew Me," or "I Think You Knew Me."
You thought you knew me. You
Yeah.
thought you knew.
I
I don't want to go to the movies.
Yeah, I was looking for it online. I could not find it. I love
Okay, so
that.
I'm actually gonna be releasing that song as a single in
Oh.
the weeks. But I'll send it to you. I'll just DM me your email. I'll send you the rough version. I don't have the final version, but I'll just send you the rough version.
Oh, thank you. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I love it.
Oh,
my
thank you.
favorite song.
Actually, all right, hold on. I'll perform it. I wasn't gonna do it tonight, but I'll load it up for tonight.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hard
Yeah.
time.
Hold on. I shall start off with that one. You thought you knew me. So yeah, this song here, it's not on the album. If you have Spotify or Apple or YouTube, you can type me in T-Bay. Why Would I Kill Myself Now? That's the name of the album. This song here is going to be a single, and it's called You Thought You Knew Me. Or Movies. I don't know. One of the two. I don't know the name yet. It's going to be one of the two. Turn it up. Hey, everybody's grooving. Okay. All right. Yeah. Hey, you thought you know me. You thought you knew. I don't wanna go to the moon. Don't wanna go. Let me break it off like a token. Let me break it off. Maybe we can do something groovy. Oh, something groovy. Oh, you thought you knew. I don't wanna go to the moon. Don't wanna go. Let me break it off like a token. Let me break it off. Maybe we can do something groovy. Oh, something groovy. Oh, It's gonna be a little dance video here too. Maybe we can do something. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Maybe we can do. You thought you know me. You thought you know. I don't wanna go to the moon. Don't wanna go. Let me break it off like a token. Let me break it off. Maybe we can do something groovy. Oh, something groovy. Oh, I don't know me. You thought you knew. I don't wanna go to the moon. Don't wanna go. Let me break it off like a token. Let me break it comes the verse, ladies and gentlemen. I had to throw a little verse on here. Maybe we can do something. Yeah. Hey, maybe we can do. Shorty messing with the older types, but a nigga like me might change your life. I just wanna bless you like Jesus Christ. Most of the dudes only here for one night. You look like the Gucci and Prada type. She don't even care. She get a lot of likes. 200 on the cash, we be out of sight. Wanna take you to new heights. You know me, you thought you knew. I don't wanna go to the moon. Don't wanna go. Let me break you off like a toothpick. Let me break you off. Yeah, little sneak preview there.
Love it. Thank you.
Woo, yeah.
Thank you. And this next one here, I just recorded this one a couple nights ago. I still got to finish it, but it's called Not Required. So little give you some bars here.
Not required.
Yeah. Hold up, your verse is not required. I'm known throughout the six, so yeah, I'm over without the tires. I can rap for 24 hours and not get tired. I'm probably still be doing retail if I didn't get fired. Take it back to grade school, T-Bay was in the choir. They can't fuck with you cause you's a liar. They want the chef, I just put the chicken in the fire. Smoke the weed, not a whole gram, it's just the fire, it's just the fire, man. I'm sipping Vanity, she ain't trying to fuck with you, that's understandable. Get these rappers like a cannibal. Don't touch a nigga, see my nigga flammable. Gotta make it international. For you that is irrational. My swag is always casual. And that's just, yeah, a couple bars there.
On Facebook, someone said, that's catchy as fuck. That's what they wrote.
Hey.
I like that one. It is very catchy. It's a good track.
Thank you.
After Lemoy's affirmations, these will be the tracks for me to get my day started for sure.
Okay. Actually, this one here, this is a pretty groovy one. I'm gonna play one more for you guys, if I got time for one more. This one's called "Lost into the Night." I wanna run away, wanna fade away now. Lost in the night, I wanna run away, wanna fade away now. Lost in the night, 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 wanna fade away now. Lost in the night. Yeah, that's it.
Hey.
Hey, I definitely want to run away.
Makes me happy.
Thank you.
Hey. So you good? You want one more or you're good?
I can do another one?
Last one. Yeah.
Okay, this one's actually like a darker one. What's it called? Not today. So yeah, last week, I gotta say one thing. Last week I was kind of spacey. I did some shrooms and then I forgot I had to do the free flow. And I was on the free flow and I was like very spacey. I wanted to do this one because I wrote this on the shrooms, but I was like, my mind was gone. So like, I'm alert today and this is what I wanted to do last week. This is just a chorus for now. Are you alright? They got my soul, I can't escape. They hold me down, I'm not that known to run away. The ground is hot, the wind is cold, the sky is gray. The devil wants to have this dance, but not today. Are you alright? They got my soul, I can't escape. They hold me down, I'm not that known to run away. The ground is hot, the wind is cold, the sky is gray. The devil wants to have this dance, but not today. Then the flow's gonna be like, some like crazy flow. But I gotta work that out first.
Yeah, buddy. Yo, give lots of love to
So good.
everybody.
Well, thank you.
Woo.
Yo, you got like lifelong fans here now. We're like asking you for like the like Aisha was like, yo, can you send me like the backtrack that you've never shared previously? And you're
That's why I'm here. I'm a fan of FreeFlow. That's why I'm trying to be here every Saturday. Honestly, I love FreeFlow.
oh, thank you.
Yo, we love it too.
Prove it by getting a tattoo, but whatever. So
Actually, I still got to do the FreeFlow rap. I didn't have time to write it this week, but next week I'm gonna try and get that done.
oh, no worries, man. No worries. Really appreciate that.
FF tattoo.
All right, guys. One more time for T-Bay. We love having you here, man. Thank you so much for everything. Really appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you, guys.
Yes. Awesome. Hello. Okay, great. So welcome. We'd like to welcome a couple of our friends who just got into the room. Shout out to Jim. Hope you're doing well out there. Marmar as well. Holla holla to all our friends. We really appreciate you guys coming through, and everybody out on Facebook as well. Special shout out to Glenn Lloyd, which me and Arun actually knew in Hong Kong as well. Crazy.
Glenn, what's up?
Daddy Glenn Lloyd. Okay, so it's really cool though to be able to come here every single week and be able to share the space. We do have a couple friends who come and visit us and share some great stuff all the time. Our next person who wants to share, he actually has a video that we're going to be showing. He has been one of our best supporters in terms of financially, but also time-wise. He comes every single week, and we absolutely love him so much. So if everybody wants to give a lot of love right now, he's pretending like he's not hearing me, but give lots of love to Taylor Price, everybody. Thank you so much. And give us a little bit idea of what we're about to show here.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Thanks for the feature. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I wanted to just share a video of like my previous artistic exploits. Before I moved to Toronto, I lived in a small town called Thunder Bay, and there was like an interesting music scene there, and there's other things going on there too, which I'm down to talk about. But yeah. So anyway, yeah. So that's something, and yeah, I just also would like to share that it's been awesome just participating in this community for the last I don't know how many weeks. Like, been a lot of like quarantine period. This has been awesome to just like come out and to like have a space that kind of just like feels like going out and hanging out with people, which is awesome. So I really appreciate that you're able to put that together and make I feel like I'm not alone in being able to like cultivate that within my own like private space, like having a cool sort of like social experience. Hard to explain, but yeah. And yeah, I guess what I was trying to share is that like I've been starting to like do collage and stuff recently, so that's been really fun, and that's been like sort of like inspired by participating in this community, and been like very nice.
Go to sleep.
For me.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Yeah, that's awesome to have you, and we really do appreciate it. And we want to see more of your collages too. Maybe have one ready for when the video's done.
Cool. Yeah, they're all. I've got like them all stacked up behind me here. This is my shelf that I write them on.
Nice. Yes, let's get a close-up view to that. Yeah. So awesome. So what video? You said it's is it a band or something, or what were you guys sharing?
Yeah, okay, so yeah, I used to play in this math rock band. So just so you know, it's a bit sort of like progressive rock sort of vibes. But our idea was like we wanted to do like progressive rock and like post rock and like really like atmospheric stuff, but do it acoustic and in a way that like was fun. So yeah, this is what I sent to somebody. There's like we did a live concert, and this is like the last track. there. And this was like soon before I moved to Toronto too. So it's a special moment for me too. So it was like a cool thing for me to share. So I hope that you guys dig it.
Yeah, love it, man. Thank you so much. Okay, let's definitely jump into it. What's it called?
Okay, oh right. I just wanted to share a little bit of the story of this song too. In this band, we like went on tour. We played like, we drove across Canada, which is massive and amazing. And I would recommend it to anybody, but it's a big pursuit. But in one of our shows, we played in Ottawa. And we met this guy, his name was Danny, and he was like, because we were a math rock band and we play around with like weird musical time signatures or whatever. And he actually like opened for us and did this like really epic sort of like solo set where he like started with this like version of Oh Canada that transformed somehow into like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. He was just like an amazing performer. It was amazing. And at the end of after we played, we're like this weird math rock band. And he's like, dudes, you guys should like write a song and it should go from like 7 to 11 and you should call it Craps. And so, yeah, we wrote this song. We ended up writing it, but we called it Danny Plays the Craps after him.
Nice, man. Great.
This one definitely goes to 11, yeah. From 7 to 11.
All right, thanks a lot for sticking around, guys. This is going to be our last song. This is the newest song that we wrote. It's called Danny Plays the Craps. This is our last song, everybody. Thanks a lot for being here. Thanks, everybody. We are Don't You Mean People. Thanks a lot for being here. It means a lot to us. Big hand for everybody else who was on stage with us. And we got Ghost Rhino coming up next. Stick around. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But my mic is on. Yeah, I like how my friend got to like end that for me. But yeah, thanks for playing that. That was awesome. It was nice to revisit that.
That's cool, man. So is there more that someone starts singing or what? I'm just joking. Just kidding. Sorry.
So is it a math band you said?
It's like math rock or post rock. They're very pretentious genre names, and most of the people who like play in those genres, they like don't want to fess up to actually like fitting within those genres. Yeah, like I don't know. There's like a bunch of bands that you know, they've got like, it's either very spacey or like very sort of like and they tried to like sort of mix that. Like if anybody's heard of like Godspeed You Black Emperor or You Make Say Think, a lot of bands with like 4 words.
I think it's notable by how hard it is to nod your head to it. You know, it's like they're very like you were saying, that was like in 7 and 11. So even just counting that, it's like 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 instead of like a 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Like most music is just like 1 2 3, and you can just groove with it, you know. But the math is like try counting 11. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1. Like they're just more complex and intricate things that are harder to groove. You have to like get out the calculator to figure out above your head, and it's like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, you have to like kind of recalibrate your experience of like rhythm. So like, I think that's the thing that's what we were trying to do, is like, we wouldn't play in a weird time signature if we weren't like having fun doing it.
Oh my God.
Bit of our philosophy. I see that Marmar has a question though I wanted to answer. She said like, how did the band's name come up? And it was also like, actually it was a poem that I wrote early on in like my undergrad. I was sitting in a sociology class. Like I don't know, like now I'm a sociologist. So it seemed sort of like prophetic. So I was like, yeah, sitting in a sociology class. I think it was sociology of the North. That was studied in Thunder Bay and, you know, Northern Ontario, and study like northern and rural sort of like social issues there when you study there. And yeah, I don't know. And I wrote this poem that was like a 2-line poems and like I guess like couplets, like became like a sort of foundational thing to the band. And so like the first line of the poem was like, don't you mean people, with a comma in brackets. I'll have to write it down. I'll write it in the comments so you can kind of see it. And then the second line of it is who cares? And so our first LP that we put out was called Who Cares? Yeah, so I don't know. I can't sort of like explain the vision behind that poem because it's been a really long time since I've been there, but I still feel like it's sort of interesting to think with, especially with like a comma. I'm playing with grammar and stuff. It's always something that's fun. So I'm gonna.
Yo, that was awesome though. Guys, one more time, give lots of love to Taylor. Taylor, it's so good to finally see more of your stuff. That was awesome. I hope nobody was looking at my face when Daniel was describing all the numbers and stuff, and I was just like, I've played a bass once. Like that's like what I was thinking in my head. But Daniel's like 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3, and I'm just like, I slapped bass one time. It's just like my brain like couldn't process all of that. So yeah, all right, great. So yeah, it's so cool to be able to see like the work that people are doing, and like just being able to see that like, you know, you've been supporting us so much and you actually have jumped on stage so many times before. That's amazing to be able to see. It's like, it gives me some reminders of like, it's such a, like the way in which you guys were holding yourself. It's like you guys did a lot of shows. Did you guys do it for a while, or how many years did you guys have your band for?
Yeah, that was like a solid chunk of my life. Like, yeah, it was like 4 or 5 years, maybe even 6. Like, actually, I wanted to tell you a story if we have time about the Central.
Okay, sure, yeah.
I told it in the concert.
2-minute story. Yeah.
Sorry?
2-minute story if you can. Yeah, try and.
Well, it's really quick. Basically,
Okay.
we went on tour and we played the Central once, and our drummer left like a cymbal stand, which is like a very, it's like leaving like a black cord somewhere, you know, like you call the sound guy and you're like, yeah, I left like a stand there, and he's like, yeah, whatever, it's gone, don't worry about it, like you're never getting that back. But we came back, like we played the same place 2 years later, and it was still there. And it's like, and we still, like, he still has it. It's like this iconic piece of gear that he has. So anyway, it's just
That's
like
that's hilarious.
it's very special in my heart.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I love the Central so much. Yes, thank you so much for sharing, man. I really appreciate that. It is awesome that you're able to have lots of memories from there as well. I also definitely had memories at the Central. We used to do that place. We did open mic nights from 6:30 p.m. to like whenever sometimes. So we'd go to like 11 p.m. and it was just like ridiculous. 5 minutes spots, no matter what, didn't matter. Some people would come and they'd be like, I just toured the whole country. And I'm like, sorry, this is the karaoke of open mic comedy. That's what I called it, the open mic. And I would just do one pun in between every performer, and we just do like 5 hours of performances. But yes, it's just amazing to be able to see like even though that place doesn't exist anymore, how many amazing stories that we had going through that place. The multiple times that I got heckled by so at one point we were doing stand-up comedy, and then we would get heckled from the back from all the bands that were waiting. And sometimes the bands weren't going on till like 10:30, 11 o'clock, and we would go until the bands came, right? So sometimes the bands would sit down and listen, but they were just waiting for their time to perform. So they just hated us doing comedy for so long. And it was just like such a struggle and such a challenge, but also like, man, comedy is one of those things that really tests like your strength as like in terms of like, are you willing to put yourself out there? And if they don't like you, you still have to power through in that way. So yeah, that's kind of like what I love about comedy, and it really builds your like, self-confidence in that way. So, okay, so I got to keep the show rolling though. Our next performer, I actually am writing with them an incredible sitcom together. I'm really excited about it, as well as they're a great stand-up comedian, as a storyteller as well. I want everybody to give a huge round of applause right now for Harpreet Sembi, everybody. Give it up. Yes.
Thanks.
Hey.
Am I dark? Oh my god. Well, this is what's gonna happen. I'm outside, so if you hear like something that sounds like gunshots, somebody's like lighting fireworks for the 4th of July, which I was like, I thought we were in Canada, but so thanks, Anto. Love it. Like, comedy is so hard. Try so hard. Self-confidence. Well, let's see what happens now. Give it up for Harpreet. So thank you so much, Anto. I appreciate that. So yeah, I guess like I'm just trying out some jokes because it's been some time. So I don't know if you guys have ever if whoever has social media, if you've seen these memes where there's like one meme that started at the beginning of the lockdown where it said, make sure you're checking up on your friends because we'll remember who you are. And then I swear to God, like a few weeks later, there was another meme that followed that people were posting that was like, you don't owe it to anyone to check up on them. No one's gonna hold you accountable. And I was like one person, like one meme is saying to like make sure you are keeping tabs on people and like making sure that people are watching, like, that they're looking out for you. And then the other one's like, you don't owe anybody anything. And I'm just like, are these people just talking about each other? Like, what if the people that created these memes are just talking about one another? So that's gone. So I recently just saw a picture of Suri Cruz recently, and I was just like, damn, like she looks exactly like Scientology. Like two.
What does Scientology look like?
Suri Cruz. You gotta Google it. Let's see what's on the. I guess I have some stuff for. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I'm living in a house of roommates right now. Some call them roommates, and sometimes I'll call them my parents and family. And it's been a challenging time. There's like 5 of us here, it's kind of awkward. Like we live together because financially it makes sense, not because we want to. Um, and so during this quarantine, we've had to leave the house, just to get a break from one another. And we've kind of had this unspoken agreement that we would leave one person at a time. So I have 5 people in my household. So anytime I decide to leave my house, if there's one person missing, I won't leave. And because I see you enough in my home, okay? You're in my space and I need space from you. So the outdoors is my time from you. Okay, so one day I actually miscalculated. I went for a walk and I saw my sister and I literally just walked around her and I was like, oh, sorry, miss. And I just walked right past her. I got home and we just talked like nothing ever happened, which is like the perfect, way to describe my family. Like you have to love them, but you don't have to like them, right? Yeah, we're surviving here. So I have a cousin who actually, when lockdown started, I had a cousin who I never met before in my life who moved in with us, and then lockdown happened. And let me tell you, being stuck in a house with a stranger is fucking weird. Like, anybody else? And I mean, like, don't get me wrong, he's a nice guy, but like, we don't really know each other. We never grew up with one another. We don't have much to talk about. My parents told him I'm a comedian. So like, anytime he sees me writing in a notebook, he's always like, are you writing jokes? And I'm just like, I'm just writing about my feelings, okay? Leave me alone. Like, who are you, my uncle? Like, stop checking up on me. I'm really like working through these feelings right now. It's really hard. What else?
You're doing a good job, don't worry.
What's that?
You're doing a good job, don't worry.
Oh, thanks. Oh no, I'm just checking my jokes because, like I said, it's been a while. I'm like, what did I write? But thanks. Living. I have a question for you guys. Do you think that like the only way white people would recognize Juneteenth as a holiday is if it involved like a week-long hangover? Like, I mean, because I feel like Cinco de Mayo and like all that, like they love getting drunk, right? Like white people, and like I feel like that's the only way. Like, give them a bottle of tequila, let them sit in the corner, have their drunk fest, and then we can all celebrate what the real meaning is, right? So I live at home with my parents, as I mentioned before, and they're seniors, and I feel very privileged to live with them because on one hand, I get to watch over them, make sure that they're okay and they're being taken care of. But on the other hand, I have to hear things like, how do I share this with everyone on Facebook? Or, we're up 200 cases today. Or, why weren't you a nurse? So, like I said, it's kind of tough in the Semby household right now. What do I have? Oh, okay. I think I'll leave it off at maybe. Do I have time to Anto?
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay, cool. Okay. So I'm 34 years old, and I've been single now for about 34 years. Yeah, it's been a tough time. It's been pretty lonely. It's to say I've never been in a relationship, and I've always kind of wondered myself, even like one of the guys I've dated have asked too. They're like, all right, that's a good thing to ask. So I decided to get professional help. So when I went to the psychic, she told me that I have a jealous ghost following me. And I was like, what is this information you just gave me? I don't even know what to do with it. Like, I really just felt like this girl just gave me a newborn baby and was like, here, and I'm just like kind of like do I shake it? Like I don't like what do I do with it? Like I don't know. So I was like I googled it. I googled jealous ghost, and then Google was like, what do you mean? And I was like, I don't know, like it's me, right? So we're still trying to figure that one out too. I'll end on this last one. Let me preface it by saying, do you guys know what negging is? Okay, I keep forgetting this is not a regular show. Okay, so you don't have to answer that. Negging, for those who may not know, is like when someone pays you a weird compliment and you don't know how to take it. Like for example, if someone was like, your hairline matches your nose, and it doesn't match your nose, but you seem to pull it off. Like that's negging because you're just like, thank you. Like, is that like a good thing? I don't know. So as a comedian, sometimes what we do is we will record our sets and we'll post it on like YouTube. And I did that once. I posted it on YouTube sorry, I forgot to mention, we'll send it to like producers of shows and festivals to give them a taste. And I think a lot of you guys are artists, so you probably know that too. So I posted a video of mine on YouTube, and I left it public like a dumbass. And this very interesting soul left me their thoughts. I'll read it to you. So the person, where is it? Wow, this is uncomfortable. I'm not even prepared. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay. A person by the name of HMD Whip $ wrote, why do you dress like Hulk Hogan on his day off?
What the hell?
This is a legit thing. I'm not even joking. This is a comment. You can't see it. And I was like, okay, like, I was like, what a way to keep me down. I mean, to be honest with you, I feel like I dress like Hulk Hogan on his day on, like, quite frankly, my humble opinion. But then this guy replies back to his own comment 6 minutes later and goes, but kudos for putting yourself out there.
Damn.
I don't know how this guy was like, I hate her. She's doing a hell of a job. I gotta let her know. I just gotta let her know. All right, thanks a lot, guys. I'm Repreet.
Yeah, give it up for her, everybody. Yes.
Awesome.
Oh, absolutely awesome. Love seeing you do comedy again. Yeah, you know, we've been working on our project for like the last like couple months and everything. And I always, that's one of the things, even in our meetings, you're always so fucking funny. So this is like so great to see you do your comedy. I think that is so funny because he probably watched the video again after he commented. He was like, wow, fuck. And so he watched the video again. And then after those minutes, he's like, she still did a pretty good job. I guess I have to let her know, you know, like it is like that moment. It's just like, and I wonder why he didn't even like, he could have deleted his first comment, right? But he's like, no, that's also important that you know that. Like that to me is just such a funny.
You gotta know that she looks pretty fucking strong and she can take it. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much again for being on the show. Guys, unmute yourselves, give lots of love to Harpreet. Absolutely awesome to be able to see that. Thank you so much. Awesome. Oh man, that's great. Oh, I love comedy so much. Definitely. So
wait, can I ask a question?
Yeah, please, go for it.
Harpreet, hi, it's Arun.
Hey.
Person, you're a stranger in your house. Is it like uncle level, like you have to pay respect, cousin, or is it like a child, or is it like your age or whatever?
He's my age.
Oh, he's your, okay. So
yeah.
More awkward.
You know what? I don't like. Oh, I guess because like people, yeah, like white people do that, right? They're like your uncle is like
twice removed, something like that.
Yeah, I was like, they're like, yeah, no, he's a cousin.
He's a cousin. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just needed some context.
No worries.
I need to know. I love that though, because it's like you're relating to that, right? You're having that moment. It's beautiful. Like, and it's also interesting because in my mind, like I actually moved into my grandma's house. One of the things that I thought was gonna happen was I was gonna move in here and I was just gonna have like cousins everywhere and aunts and uncles everywhere, you know? So I wonder when that day is gonna happen, probably after COVID. So, but on top of that, everybody will be invited. I'm gonna invite everybody to come and stay in this place. We're gonna have a party for sure. I'm gonna buy a barbecue and a hammock. Those are two things I want to buy by the end of the year. But yes, huge thank you to Harpreet. Really appreciate you coming on the show, enjoying that. So we gotta keep the show rolling. Our next sharing, Ashley has a song that she's gonna be sharing. Daniel's gonna play the music of it, and I think you said that it was gonna be on your album as well. So definitely, you're welcome to let everybody know a little bit of background if you'd like, and then yeah, share that music, and love to hear that. Good.
Hey, hello, beautiful people. So I'm Ashley. I'm calling in from Toronto, Ontario. Basically just wanted to share a couple songs with you guys tonight. Just things that are sort of like, so one thing is, I think the first song I'm going to share is called Release, which was a co-creation that I did with Lou, which some of you guys know who he is. He's been on the show. He's showcased on the show a couple times as well. He's amazing producer, amazing engineer. He's actually helping Daniel and I in our band, just with doing some vocal editing and possibly going to be mixing the whole album. So it's all a process, though. I own that I'm feeling a little nervous right now, to be honest with you. My stomach's been kind of turning all night. So I just want to let everybody know I'm just feeling that way. I even messaged Daniel. I was like, Dan, can you maybe talk for me? He's like, I don't want to talk for you, Ashley. I'm like, all right, I'm doing this. So anyway, yeah, but I'm really happy to be here. And yeah, so this song is called Release by Loopfee and Ashley Gilmore. And Dan's gonna play it for you guys.
This is Loopfee.
Everybody's in this situation. We're all headed straight for death as if we had been condemned by a judge. And yet here we are all clinging on to things. We're all in this great stream of change which we call life. We're all in this great stream of change which we call life. We are the stream. If you imagine you're separate from it and you're being carried along by it as if you were a cork, that's a delusion. You're a wave of the stream itself. So get with it.
Show me.
of coming to feel that we are the eternal universe, each one of us.
Wow, so good.
Wow. So good.
Love it.
Such a good collab. Amazing.
Man, it's all Lou, baby. He just captures the moment and puts it together, and he's so incredible, so incredible. I feel really, 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 really lucky to know him.
Is
and
the
work with
quote
him.
actually, is a quote like a quote from history or historical figure? Sorry, like
Alan Watts, yeah.
this
The big like English philosopher.
English
Kind of
philosopher, right?
contemporary to like Ken Casey and like the psychedelics. He was the more like straight like Buddhist kind of guy. Alan Watts.
So cool.
So yeah, I just wanted to share that because a couple weeks ago, Taylor and Narani and I and Paul was we were all in the room together, and Taylor was like, "How come you never share this stuff with anyone?" And I was like, "I don't know." Or with Walter, sorry, Walter was there. Walter was saying it. Anyway, so I thought I'd share that. Okay, so the next song is a song that is from our band, Daniel and I. It's called Ella Maria. It's spelled ELEMARIA. And we're a brand new band. We haven't put anything out yet, but we're gonna be putting some stuff out this summer. And this song is called Into the Reflection. None of the tracks, any of these are mastered at all whatsoever. It's just the very, close to the end. But anyway, it's all good. It's called Into the Reflection. Daniel's gonna share it. Oh, sorry, Turquoise Dreamer. Yeah, sorry. We called it Turquoise Dreamer.
The eyes wanna see, mind just wants to believe. What the heart cannot contain, it will always yearn to need. Not every tear is for the fear. Go into the reflection. What the eyes wanna see, the mind just wants to believe. What the heart cannot contain, it will always yearn to need. Yeah. Not every tear is for the fear. Go on into the reflection. Hey, now. And you believe in magic. And if you're looking for a tragedy, then everything you see will seem so tragic. Not every smile is just one smile. Go on reflection. If you believe in a curse, then you believe in my day. But if you're looking for a tragedy, then everything you see will seem so tragic. No, just give yourself into the reflection. Yeah. Oh, hey now. Hey now. Why is everything the same, look different to me? And why does the best truth come from those who deceive me? Not every tear is full of fear. Go on into the reflection. Yeah. Why does everything the same look different? Why does the best truth come from those who deceive me? Just give yourself the light into the reflection.
Yeah. Oh yeah, baby.
Yo, our drummer's so fucking amazing. Ah, I miss him so much. Our drummer had to move back home to New Brunswick, and it's like, oh, I just want to jam with him so fucking bad. Anyway, yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. I appreciate your time tonight, and yeah,
Thank
see you
you.
guys all soon.
So
See you guys.
good. So good.
Counting was for you, Jim. That counting was for you. I hope you caught it. We're not going back. No.
All right, thank you so much. That was awesome. Being able to hear those tracks like mastered as well too, super cool. You know, mostly live. We've been
No,
seeing.
they're not mastered at all.
I don't know the difference of words. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not live. They're on tape. Whatever.
They're on their way.
Yeah. They're steps towards that. Yes. But great job. It's awesome. Thank you again for sharing that. And Daniel, to be able to hear you play music too is one of the best things ever. And I'm really excited to hear some more stuff tonight, maybe, right? So everybody, one more time, give lots of love to Ashley and Ella Maria and Daniel. Thank you for sharing that. All right, my face again. Oh my goodness. So I feel like this zit here has just been growing the whole show, just like slowly. I should have. You ever watch those popping videos? I'm not gonna do that right now. So don't even suggest it. So
put some Windex on it.
Yeah. Yeah, Big Fat Greek Wedding. Yo, that movie was so good. I love that movie. I remember seeing it in the theater, and I was like cheering, and everybody was like, "What's with this guy?"
It's so good. It's so
you ever
good.
try to sing songs with songs you never heard before? That's what I felt like I was doing. Like I wanted to like sing along with songs I never knew. Okay, so we gotta keep the show rolling though. We are rolling. I don't know what Danielle. Just really quickly before we. What were you showing there? What did Risa send? What was like, just sent a bunch of money?
What are you talking about?
I
Oh,
just,
wow. Yeah, that's embarrassing. She actually, Risa, the beautiful
well,
one.
that's not for us to know. Oh, sorry. I didn't know. It was literally on the screen. I thought that was.
No, it was, she purchased some of my artwork.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought it was like you were showing us to be like, yo, check out how much she donated or something.
Emails, no, my emails pop up. That was not.
Yo, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Okay, cool. So that's amazing though, and I would love to see some of your art as well, Daniel. Too. I haven't seen. I've seen a lot of the ones that you've been posting every day in our 66-day challenge. So just really quickly, wanted to give you guys an idea of what the challenge was. Every day we choose a couple things that we end up being able to do within our lives. So I chose to do meditation. I wanted to do Cantonese lessons. I'm doing push-ups, and I'm doing a workout, and I'm doing some writing, right? So it's like, there's really a lot, but it's been really helpful during the quarantine and everything, right? So Daniel's been doing a write-up of 750 words in his art. So later on, I would love for him to be able to share a little bit more about that. And if anybody else, we have, 26 days left, Daniel? So if anybody out there is interested in wanting to be able to do the 66-day challenge as well with us, to be able to push yourself, to be able to, connect to a couple things. You choose whatever it is. I'd love to be able to share a little bit more about that. And I write in there every single day to keep up with that. So it's all about growth. It's all about learning. So I really appreciate that he shared that with me. So our next performer, I'm so excited to have her back on the show. Every week she's come, she's put in the time, she's been working on herself. She has a couple poems she wants to share with us. I want everybody to put your hands together. Give so much love right now to Aisha, everybody. Give it up. Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. I appreciate that. I'll admit I'm feeling a little heat stroked. And just a lot of anxiety going through me as well today. But I'll just read you two short, I call them deep thoughts. And they're just kind of like, this one is about basically and I'm speaking on an energetic level, so I'm not really referring to any specific thing. But it's how I feel when I see people getting caught up in stuff or watching the conspiracy theories and the news and everything that's happening around us today. So, so I wrote this the other day. People get way too caught up in the stories, but the stories serve one purpose. The stories serve to materialize the pain that lives within us. Anger now becomes empowerment. Fear becomes wisdom. Wisdom becomes fear. Reality becomes worry, and worry becomes pain. Then pain becomes numb. The bridge, the rainbow, there is a pot of gold. The breakthrough becomes truth, and truth is your reality, and love is time. Deep thoughts.
Wow.
Deep thoughts.
Deep thoughts. And then I have one more. Always stay true to your spirit. The truth is all that is real. The rest will eventually dismantle itself. And if you are unsure, stop and listen to your soul. The universe whispers in 1,000 ways. Keep your heart open no matter who tries to trick you into self-doubt. You are love, and love never fades. Those who judge will never understand, and those who understand never judge. That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Powerful.
Deep thoughts.
Yo,
Deep
can you,
thoughts.
it's too much to ask you to read that second one again. It was so much to take in the best way. I just, I would love to hear it again. Is that cool, everybody? I'd love to. Yeah?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if it's
so good.
Okay with you.
The last one?
Yeah, please, if you don't mind.
Sure. Always stay true to your spirit. The truth is all that is real. The rest will eventually dismantle itself. And if you are unsure, stop and listen to your soul. For the universe whispers in 1,000 ways. Keep your heart open no matter who tries to trick you into self-doubt. You are love, and love never fades. Those who judge will never understand, and those who understand will never judge.
Words of
Oh,
great.
I needed to hear that today. Thank you.
My
Yes.
pleasure. Thank you for listening.
Well, I hope you recover from your heat stroke.
Thank you.
Feel better.
It's all good. I'm just like so full of water. Just chugging the water back.
Do they have Kool-Aid in Canada?
No, we banned it.
Gatorade.
You banned Kool-Aid?
Yeah, it's not good for you.
It's tons of crap that's not good for you. 99% of no, that's not true. But
Well, thank you so much, Aisha. Really appreciated that. I'm really looking forward to hearing more of your poetry, and even just
Thank
seeing it in writing. It's going to be very great to be able to see as well. So looking forward to be able to see it all, put it all together and everything. And if you're ever wanting a little bit of support to read any of your poetry, please let us know. We would love to be able to read more of that. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for listening.
Yeah. All right. So nice to be able to have you in the community, Aisha. It's amazing. Just to be able to
Thank
see
you.
the work that you're doing in your poetry. And I love that you call them deep thoughts too, because so much poetry comes when you are in that state of like, you know, really connecting to your soul in that way. And for you to be able to put it into words, I just love that that whole last poem really resonated and connected with me. And I'm sure many people out there loved it as well. So thank you so much. Okay,
Pleasure.
great.
Thank
Yes,
you.
yes. I love poetry. It is one of my favorite things in the whole world. So I actually wanted to share a poem too, if that's cool. I always like, I guess last minutely find things that kind of like, I'm like, okay, which one do I want to share? But it's one that I haven't shared in a while. It's one actually from about my therapist. And it's been a little bit a while, but I really wanted to share it because I wanted to just like give credit to like all the work that I like we've talked about in the show, how important it is to like put in the time, put in the work and the effort and that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to share about someone who's really helped me set up the base of what it is that I'm creating and understanding. And so yeah, this is my poem about my therapist. Her name is Natalie, and she is like one of the most powerful entities. And like recently we actually found out that she is not only a middle child, but she also is an early child. Well, she works with children the same way that I do, and she actually has adopted multiple kids. And my family, there's multiple aunts, and as well as my parents are in the process of adoption. So it's like somehow I found her on the internet. I just saw her picture and I was like, you're just the best. So now I see her every single week, and just a big shout out to her and how much I really appreciate her, and giving her credit, you know, all the work that she's done with me. So this one's called Soul Sherpa. Sitting, waiting for the door to open, deeply breathing in the knowledge from the psychology magazines telling me why my last relationships failed. Finally fling open the door and she kindly peeks her face out, welcoming me, pointing to the seat where my words are to heal, correct me, break me through to the other side. I acted like therapy was surgery and self-work was rehab. My soul breaking is like a rolled ankle in the first 5 minutes of your first game with the Boston Celtics. Shitty shout out Gordon Hayward. She tells me it's okay to give random references that no one understands. She tells me it's okay that I smoke weed. She tells me it's okay to not be okay. I tell her I don't want to be okay. I want to be happy. She says, happy comes and goes. So does sad, but it's up to me what I hold on to. I tell her I appreciate her and forget to make session payments, not because I don't appreciate her, but because I'm disorganized. She tells me, she understands and tells me I don't need to be so hard on myself, to judge myself, to break myself down, to hurl myself off a cliff when I forget or miss or feel not as successful as my brother. I thank her for her time over and over again until she knows that I'm not bullshitting, or she knows that I do. She can see it in my eyes how much I needed her to pick me up, need her to hold me up. Then I realize she shows me how to pick myself up. The Sherpa to my mindset mountain. Reset, setting up for success. Sometimes I regress. It is not all fun and games when you're unpacking nightmares. She doesn't push me to go deeper. She just lets me accept myself for who I am. I tell her I blame myself for her leaving. I blame myself for not being enough of a man to be able to build the life that she dreamed of, the world that we promised each other that was supposed to last forever together. I lost it all, returning to the apartment of left objects, everything she didn't want to bring with her into her new life. Sitting on the floor, looking up at everything, I realized I am one of the forgotten fallen items too. She tells me that it's okay to forgive myself. I tell her, I don't want to just be okay. She says it's okay to feel that way. I tell her that before my grandfather's passing, I ran from him in his broken body, reaching up to hold my hand. The pain I still hold on to breaks my spirits when I begin many things. She waits as I grab a Kleenex to blow my nose, a moment to let it all go. Physically, emotionally, she asks me again, when will you forgive yourself? When will you forgive yourself? I want to soon, I say. But if I do, will I forget about my Gongong? About his life and the love I have for him? She says no. I always appreciate how direct she can be too. I go to tell her this, but before I can, she asks about my mother. What was that relationship like? Oh, it's great now. We meet up and go for food and we really love each other. She definitely wishes I was doing something more serious like an adult job, but it's so sweet seeing her these days. What was your relationship like before? You said it's great now. She always picks up on the smallest details. That's how I know she's really listening. I tried to think back before we pulled the wool over our past eyes to bring in the new life my family has committed to. It was not fun at all. We had some enjoyable moments, I guess, but it was usually a lot of perfection I was not achieving. All the pain from failure was overwhelming my young soul, bouncing around, hyperactive zest for life, nullified to fit her eyes of precise goals that would make us all happy. If I could just try a little harder in Chinese school, in soccer, in piano, in taekwondo, in school. I always embodied the extra in extracurricular. Emotionally, I was falling apart, ripping the door from its hinges, unhinging each strike of my body, the reminder of who I am not enough. Every time I felt so close and alone, laying in my bed with more marks, going through the cycle of pain, anger, coping, self-blame, pain, anger, coping, self-blame, pain, anger, coping, self-blame. Couldn't wait to get out, so I left. She tells me nothing this time. She sits patiently as I wipe off every teardrop. Nowhere else to be, just there if I want to add anything. This always happens at the end of our sessions, I quip, pointing at my face, As I try to pull the wool over both of our eyes, she doesn't respond with laughter. Instead, still, sitting patiently, feeling too, allowing for me to take in the moments, hoping she will say it's going to be okay. When will you forgive yourself? Anything. She says instead, little you has been through a lot. I say, I have, but I'm here now. She smiles and says, we're gonna have to end for today. We booked for 1.5 weeks, 1 too poor, 2 too far, 1.5 is baby bear porridge. She gets up and opens the door as I thank her for her time. I walk over to the washroom to wipe off my face. I look in the mirror. I drink some water from a tiny cup. I take my phone out to e-transfer her for this session so I don't forget later. And as I leave, I feel better about being me and accepting that okay is progress too.
What?
Amazing.
Okay.
Yes.
So good.
Yay, thank you guys so much.
Beautiful.
Okay, it's beautiful too. And okay, I love it. I love everything.
Aisha, did you want me to read that last poem one more time?
Yeah. Sure. I can listen to you all night. How much time do you got?
Thank you guys so much for holding the space for that. It's been a while since I've shared that poem, and one of the main things that I want you to know is that the relationship between my mother and my family and the people in the poem, I've come so far since then, and that's the only way that I can really share this. I remember sharing this poem before, and I was just destroyed after I fell. You know what I mean? I was just like, my emotions were just so hurt because I hadn't worked through it. And then just being able to have my therapist and be able to work through this, and the love that I do share with my mother and the work that we've put into that and the conversations that we've had throughout all of this stuff, it's really empowered me to be able to like share this with strength. So I really appreciate you guys, and thank you so much for having me. You know, it just means a lot to be able to have the space to be able to share that. So yay.
Yay, Anto.
Cool. So this transitions perfectly into my next performer. I have there were the co-editor on my chapbook. We worked super hard on being able to put this together, and we had a wonderful show on in February to be able to actually release this. And I remember the first time I held this in my hands, I just like was so just on the verge of tears, you know, being able to actually finish a project. That's not something I've done in my 13 years of being a performer, and to be able to have support from just like a close friend, you know, it's just awesome. So everybody give a big round of applause to our next performer. Give it up for Silva, everybody. Yeah.
Woo!
Hi. Anybody else get nervous when I decide to perform, or is that just me? Oh god. Okay, so shit.
You got this.
Thanks. So last couple of weeks, I'm just gonna continue with the fucking series that I've like developed, I guess. Yeah, last couple of weeks I was very angry, and I was angry. Right now I'm tired, and like I wanted to come back angry and give you like my fucking grit and like talk some shit real quick, but I don't have it in me right now. I'm just gonna talk, all right? So, shit. I have an eating disorder, okay? I have anorexia, and I am in the process. I want to say I'm recovering, but I'm actually amid probably the worst relapse that I've had in like years. And like, I feel like it's very indicative of my relationship to whiteness. Like I had this ex-girlfriend. We were seeing each other for like 3 years, and she also had an eating disorder, but she had like bulimia. So she would like take all my money and like, you know, do whatever, like eat, and like, but then when she told me she was gonna keep something down, she didn't. And then she would be like, oh, but I need more money this time. I need it. Like, I swear I'm going to keep it down this time. I swear I'm going to do it right this time. And then she would just get rid of it again. And it was like this cycle. And there was a night actually where we were at the hospital. Like she was in the hospital, and she kept sending me to like get her things to binge on. And she would pretend that she was going to keep them down. And then after I like collapsed on the hospital floor, she took my credit card, unhooked her own IV, and spent my credit card. She spent $350 on my credit card in one night. And then I got a call from the company to be like, hey, like, was your credit card stolen? Like, because we blocked it, and I had to tell them it wasn't stolen. And it's like, I feel like I'm always just like whittling myself down to make room for somebody else, and I'm so tired. I'm so fucking tired. Like, I don't know. I don't think people understand exactly how it feels. And like, of course you don't. If you're white, you don't understand how it feels to be not white. You don't, and you're not going to. And like, I just like, I don't think people realize it's not a fucking game for me. Like, I'm not out here having a good time. Like, I'm not out here like, oh, I'm gonna fucking start shit with some white people, yay. Like, no, it's not a fucking like picnic for me. Like, when I was seeing my ex, like, that came from my heart. I thought I was doing the right thing for her. Like, I gave up everything. And I guess that's really part of the problem, isn't it? All right, I think I'm done now. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Silva, for sharing that, and really appreciate that. And I'm very open if anybody does have any words that they would like to share of that. Like personally, I just wanted to share that like I appreciate you opening up yourself and being able to like be vulnerable and to share that personal story. Like I used to run a show, and one of the most powerful things about the show was that people's vulnerability is actually shared in strength as well. And I really see the strength that took to be able to share that here as well. And I wanted to say thank you for that. So definitely really appreciate that. If anybody else has words that they would like to share as well at this time, you're welcome to be able to share.
Yeah, I would like to say to Salva that, it takes a lot of courage and bravery to be so open. And in doing so, you're actually, like, you don't know who here is watching this, or even on the Facebook or the replay, your courage and how it is going to help someone else acknowledge things that are happening within themselves. And so that I think the hardest part is just when people feel like they're alone and they're the only one going through this. And I just admire your bravery, and because I too used to have a serious eating disorder as well, and it was because I hated myself, and it was because people told me to hate myself, and because I almost did die. I was in the hospital for a couple of weeks, and they gave me 3 months to live. And but then I really, by the grace of like the divine spirit, I realized I had a choice to make, and I made the choice to stop listening to whatever like other people are saying and start listening to my heart and start loving myself. Because at the end of the day, I realized that I just have me, and I'm here, and I'm awake, and I'm aware, and I'm existing it for a reason. Obviously, I'm here. I have consciousness for a reason. We all do. We all have awareness for a reason, and we all go through struggles. And Salva, like, I just want you to know that if you ever need anyone to talk to about anything, I'm here for you, because I've been through a similar situation. So, I hear you, and you're not alone. And it is possible to make things better. Because sometimes what I've found is often right before the darkest nights, and I know it sounds cliche, but like the dark night of the soul and the darkest night, it's like if you just make it through that, then things just like the doors start opening and things do get better. They really do. So just know that if you need to talk, just let me know. And I'm really proud of you.
Yeah, thank you, Aisha, for sharing that as well. And it definitely is very beautiful to be able to see you guys reaching out to each other and supporting each other in this community. And that's like what we had mentioned earlier as well. Like if people are needing to reach out to us, like we still are going to be around, like during the show, even though for the next month we are going to be taking a bit of a break and taking a bit of a hiatus just so we can continue to grow inside and everything. But we do want you guys to know that we are here for you guys. We still love you very much. This is a perfect time, I think, to transition into what we wanted to use for the last half hour. We usually have an open mic of sorts, but we really wanted to open it up to the community and have you guys, give, comments of support, comments of love to the rest of the community, letting everybody know what it is that you guys really mean to each other and how you guys have been able to be here and supporting each other. And I really wanted to say, like, thank you guys for this. I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple months ago, I was having some really intense challenges with my family and like the house that I'm living in now, that my grandmother's house. Inside of the family, there was quite a lot of like conflict and a lot of pain and people arguing and fighting for stuff and everything. It was really, really challenging. And because of this community, I was able to write one night a poem just about how I need to be able to treat my family the same way that I am willing to treat my community here. And the strength that I've gained and learned from this, and to be able to have the tough conversations with you guys, has empowered me to be able to speak to my family in a more loving way, in a more building way, in a growing way. And it just means so much to me to be able to have you guys. This 17th week, just in case if anybody out there doesn't know, that's a lot of weeks. That's like more than 16 weeks, guys. That's a lot of weeks. So I really am like really appreciative.
Cue Sound of Music.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And so I just wanted to put that out there and letting you guys know that was like a very clear moment when I had written that poem, and like how important that is. So I just wanted to say thank you guys to you guys. And I wanted to put it out there to everybody else, kind of like what Taylor had shared earlier, just like how the community has influenced us, how we've been able to like grow together, and kind of what the next steps that we're wanting within the community, and what it is that we're working towards, you know. And it's funny because I say the community, and sometimes I think of, you know, those super weird cult movies where there's like a guy who's dressed extremely uncomfortably in a weird way, and he's like, the community comes together, and they always do something weird, and that's why they banned Kool-Aid, because it's like that type of Kool-Aid, you know what I mean? So that's not what I'm saying. That's not what we're doing here. I really want to comment on that, but it is a lot of love, and it always like coming together. And so I just wanted to put it out there to the group. If anybody, obviously you're still welcome to share like a song or a piece or something like that. I know that Daniel also was saying that he wanted to share a little bit later possibly as well. But if anybody out there is wanting to, you know, just address the rest of the community, let everybody know kind of what it is that you guys have done together, how you guys have learned, how you guys have grown a little bit. And then we will have a couple comments on like what it is that we're hoping that we can bring in about a month or so when we do come back on the 1st of August. So yeah, I open up the floor. I'm gonna actually turn off the spotlight video, and who knows who it'll land on next.
I want to share something, guys.
Yeah.
I've been trying to I've been living by the art of productive procrastination over these last few months in during COVID. I think it's really interesting I've been giving in to my procrastinations. Like it's like almost like a craving, but I've been giving into it. As long as I've made a promise to myself to make sure that whatever I procrastinate with is also something productive. Tried to start a business. I got all the way up to here, and then I, just wasn't feeling inspired. So I ended up getting healthier, exercising. I lost 40 pounds in like 3 months, which is actually not so crazy. And then I was getting kind of bored of exercising. So I applied to grad school, just to like reflect on myself. Writing those essays are really meditative. And now I'm back in Hoboken and in New Jersey, and I want to start creating content again, putting music out there, maybe putting comedy out there. But I'm procrastinating I have to paint my walls and make sure everything is, all tip top, and kind of cross all those things off. So I wanted to share that mindset because it's something I completely discovered by having been in this quarantine. And I don't know if that's helpful to anyone, but it's just something I wanted to share.
That was definitely not the question I asked at all, but it was also helpful. So that's great, man. I do appreciate that. Thank you, Arun.
Sorry.
It's all good.
It is the open mic after all.
There's got to go somewhere where it's like, being in the quarantine, where we got to adapt. We're like, okay, what can we do? So here we had this, we had this monthly show, which turned into a weekly show, which now meant that we're going to be seeing the same people week after week after week after week after week after week. We're doing it 16 times after week after week after week after week. Anyways, I'm just playing. But so it's like we change, right? And the bridge, help me out, Anto, you're under the bridge. I'll hook it up.
Sure. Velvet actually said that he would like to share a little bit of something as well. So welcome back. So nice to see your face.
Hello, my friends. It has been a while since I've been on camera, but for me, since I was first introduced to the existence of this group, the thing that I've appreciated the most is how much creativity and respect are really nurtured, embraced, and have flourished over the weeks. I see people come in and share such personal parts of themselves, and I haven't had the sense, for the most part, that people have walked away feeling like, I don't want to do that again. In fact, we come back and we share some more, and the encouragement that comes out from each of the leaders and the organizers coming just to make sure that everybody knows that they have that support, and if they need to reach out beyond this moment, that you are here for that. And I've definitely felt that for myself. I've felt like I've been able to have those conversations when I need it. Also for me, it's because we are socially isolated. Like I don't go out. I don't feel safe going out to the parks or anything. So this has been one of my connecting community moments. So I've looked forward to these events. So I'm very appreciative. Congratulations on having gone 17 weeks. That's amazing. And I'm not going to burst into Sound of Music. Oh yes, I am. Here we go. No.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
But I would. The hills are alive with the sound of music. Oh. All right. Yeah. There we go. That was. I promise I will not be doing that again until I get my looper. Here we go. No. So very much heartfelt congratulations on all the effort and energy everybody has put into all of these. I've also just really enjoyed getting to see so many new to me artists sharing their work. I've appreciated that immensely, and every opportunity I get on Instagram to follow a new person, I count that as a blessing. So I could say more, but I've said so much, and thank you for my time.
Yay, we love you. So happy to have you back and visiting.
Thank you so much.
Tippity tappity tippity. All right, who's next?
Show him what he's won, Anto.
Oh, I didn't even say anything. I can speak though. Just spotlight. Oh, yeah. I mean, reflecting on why we put on shows in the first place. It's nice to gather people together. It's nice to give people a place to be heard, and it's friendships, it's relationships. I think of most of my friendships, and I'm actively co-creating things with the people that I'm with. It's like that's what bonds me together, especially like as a teenager. Like that photo I showed, I was very sad, and I didn't have a friend in the world, and my relationships started to be birthed from, I played music with that guy, I got together and drew with that guy, I made films with that guy, and it was like we were bonded by our creativity. And I think to this day it's still true. Like we all come here because for the most part we are creators, and we're here to share, we're here to take in, and I think that's a beautiful thing, to hold that space for people to come and experience friendship, and I value that. I really do appreciate, all of you individually for coming and sharing and being with us and sharing your voice and using it and just being, honest. I think that's one of the best things we can do, is just be honest. That's the wheel.
I'll go next, actually. Yes, sure. I remember when we started this 16 going on 17 weeks ago, we just went into quarantine. And that was a whole new experience for all of us. Remember, we were calling it social distancing. And then a couple weeks later, changed to physical distancing. And then Anto and I started doing the Wuhan kick. And this show really came out of the fact that all of a sudden we were separated and alone in our homes, in our rooms, and shopping once a week and not knowing what was going on, watching the death counts on television. and that was before the debacle, the massacre in long-term care homes. And yeah, it was just a space the whole community hang out with each other and not to feel so alone and not to feel so isolated. And we didn't know where it was going to go. And here we are, 3 months later, 4 months later, and the show's grown, and we have people from all over the world tuning in, and then and then tragedy hit with George Floyd, and our consciousness grew. And I just want to share something with that. So I'm reading Conversations with God. It's by Neil Donald Walsh. I don't know if anybody ever heard of it. I'm on book 2 and 3, and it's such a good read for me right now, in the sense of just making sense of the world. And I'm at the stage right now where we're talking about consciousness, in the sense that what we're doing right now is we're creating a new group consciousness, in the sense that we're dealing with our history, our collective history. And I mean, all over the world, we've lived through empires. We lived through the ancient Egyptian empire, and the Ethiopian empires, and the Greek empire, the Roman empire, and the Salasans, and everybody. There's empires after empire after empire on this planet. But as people now, as humanity, we're starting to really deal with our sameness, and that's coming through with this construct that we called racism, in the sense that we divided ourselves up into these artificial groups, but now we're realizing that those groups don't work anymore, because we're all the same. And I think what we're doing is we're creating a new group consciousness on the planet at the same time, due to our technology, the internet, now through Facebook and Zoom, where we're all at the same point, growing and learning of how to get along with each other. But it's tough, because there's a lot of truths that we have to hear, and we have to learn that a lot of people's feelings have been hurt, and they've been dealing with a lot of pain internally for the longest time. But when we're sharing that, and we're learning how to listen to other people talk, and giving different groups the chance to be heard now, and that's almost unheard of in our human history, in the sense. But it's wonderful. I just want to say that it's been a pleasure to be part of this group. I know I've learned a lot. I've grown a lot in the last 4 months, hosting and sharing music and my philosophy, and watching everybody else share and grow and making new friends. And it's been good. I want to say happy quarantine, because we're coming out of it. We're entering to stage 3, and we're all wearing masks now, but we understand what it's about, and we can move around freely and ride our bikes and get outside in the sunshine now. And it's almost as if our quarantine is coming to an end, and we'll be writing stories about that. It's a coming of age, as Annie Carter said earlier. It's a coming of age, and we're growing, people. Happy quarantine. I had my 50th birthday in quarantine. And so we've had some serious milestones. I mean, I'm gonna actually look back on this quarantine as a really important growth point for me, because not only have I learned to share more, but I've learned I'm playing the piano more and playing the guitar more. And there's something else I'm learning more that I can't remember. But yeah, I'm just like doing a lot of interesting things. So I'm like, part of the federal council now in the Green Party. I actually ran an election through Zoom. Not ran an election, but I campaigned online, and I won an election. So a lot of firsts. So thank you, my friends and family. Thank you for being there for me, and thank you for being with each other.
Can I say one thing, Adrian?
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you, because every time you speak, you just have this resonance with your voice that's just like so calming and soothing. And everything is like, every time you talk, I learn something new. About you always have really interesting stories to tell, and it's I don't know. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, because it's just, I could sit here and be like, that's right, and just like listen all night to you talk, Adrian. So it's great. Thanks.
Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate it. Bless.
And everyone else here is super talented. Thank you for to everybody.
Don't try and suck up after you suck up to him. Just kidding.
Well, you know, I feel the same way about everybody, but Adrian, I think I've told everyone individually how much I appreciate them in my own way, but I've never really said that to Adrian, so I feel that he needs an applause.
Yeah, applause for Adrian.
Thank you,
Yeah, and I should. You've become such a great leader in our group as well too. So we really do appreciate your insight and like just hearing your poetry earlier. I don't mean to like highlight it again, but man, that was fucking dope. Like it was super great. So and you did that with stroke. So I mean like I can't even imagine. So yeah, so it's just been really great to be able to see you be able to come and participate and just kind of grow alongside us. And we do appreciate that.
Thank you, and I really appreciate you holding this space for everybody. Just to grow and to share and to be connected. It's really important. So thank you.
I appreciated how, I think poignant is the right word, that your poetry was tonight. Your deep reflections, was that what they're called?
Deep
thoughts.
Like, yeah, it was just like I try no unnecessary words. You know, like everything, all you need to get the message across. I really appreciate that. It was very clear, and it was very impactful.
Thank you for hearing me. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Thank you.
All right, who's next?
Adrian, I just want to say I love your last name. Love me some curry.
Yeah, baby, you know it. Curry all day long.
You know, in high school, I got called to the principal's office because my slogan when I ran for president was "Curry me to presidency." They're like, "That's insensitive to yourself. Come see the principal."
Curry me to presidency? I don't get that. That's so funny. I would have said curry gourd all day. Free curry gourd. Come and get some. 2 curry gourds for you.
Oh my god, look at Anto's face.
Hey, I wanted to highlight my own face. I was like, who's next?
So you know what that was? That was a comfortable silence. You know, amongst friends, when you know you
It
really,
was comfortable.
you can be quiet and not feel nervous. That was a comfortable silence. So we truly are all friends.
And then the waiter ruins it and says, "How are we enjoying everything today?"
You're like, get off, Vata.
Actually, now that we're all here, I just like to make one announcement. COVID it's kind of dying down, and I'm going back to work with my massage practice, but I am keeping like all the measurements in place, of course. And the good thing about the space I work in is it's just one person at a time. It's not like a revolving door of people. It's like you making your appointment. I'm spacing everyone like an hour apart, so I have plenty of time to clean in between people. So if anyone's feeling sore or in need of a deep tissue Swedish massage, I'm located right by the harbor front, right by the water, and yeah, please reach out to me. And I'm giving out friend and family deals, discounts. So, but it's you know, it's good to get you know, the attention, and apparently I have, you know, magical hands. Ashley knows. And just wanted to bring that up if anyone's interested in getting a massage.
Thank you, for sure.
Taylor's interested.
Do you have a business, Aisha?
Pardon?
Do you have how would people get in contact with you?
So the name of the clinic is called Master Your Mind. So you can look up Mastermind on Google, and also we're at 500 Queens Key West.
Great.
Wow, prime location.
That's awesome. Great to know that. Also, vote for the Green Party, right, Adrian? Got your back, buddy. Woo! Got your back, buddy.
Exactly.
So we are coming to midnight. We are going to stick around a little bit after the show if anybody wants to hang out and, you know, just chat and, like, you know, connect and stuff. But I did want to mention before we went, we have been doing for the last, like, couple of weeks, we've been wanting to raise some money for specifically NIA Center for the Arts. So we are going to be taking a month hiatus, so I am going to be donating the amount that from that directly to them. So I just wanted to give you guys a little background in terms of, like, just from the team, we were able to get about $100, and then we actually had multiple people buy my chapbook this month, and so I'm going to be donating the amount. Shavar actually purchased one, as well as my friend in Ottawa purchased one. And then we actually had multiple donations. One of them was from Taylor, as well as one of them was from, what was the final one? Anyways, one more person who's going to be mad at me now that they that I forgot. But yes, it is awesome that we have $200 that we're going to be donating to NIA Center for the Arts, and I'm really excited to be able to share that with them. And anybody out there who's wanting to donate as well, you're welcome to get in touch with me in the next couple of days. I will be doing that by the end of the weekend. And yeah, it's just been really great to be able to highlight an organization that is just doing some incredible work in Toronto. And I just wanted to say thank you to all the people who have donated. And hopefully that one person who I forgot who donated. Oh yeah, it was T-Bay. Yeah, okay, I remembered. So thank you, T-Bay and Taylor, for donating. And anybody out there who does want to donate as well, you're welcome to. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure that we highlighted that and let everybody know that this show has been one of my favorite shows that we've had, guys. We're just being able to really, like, that moment of silence and connection at that time was extremely valuable for us. And, you know, from the team and everybody here, like, we just absolutely love the last 17 weeks. We've grown so much. We've learned so much. And right now, this is something that I put out to the world, you know, like this show really is a reflection of the world, I do believe. And right now, a lot of us need to be going a little bit deeper within, connecting to resources. You know, I was sharing about therapy and stuff like that. I am going to be continuing to connect to my therapist and things like that to be able to work through some of this with my mental health, some of the ways in which I've been reacting and acting and reflecting on. I am going to be seeking some support in that way, in a positive way. I'm going to be taking a workshop about holding space at the end of the month. So if anybody out there is interested in that as well, let me know. I'd love to be able to share that with you guys as well. But I'm going to be using this time really much to be growing, going deeper within and going and learning more about myself and how it is that I'm able to hold the space and connect. So yeah, I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody for being here on the show. We absolutely love you guys. I know that it has been a lot sometimes, you know, in the last month or so, but that's what's happening in the world too. And our show being able to reflect what's going on in the world and to be able to have that in this space. It is an honor, you know, to be able to hold this space for that. And I really look forward to when we come back stronger than ever before and to be able to celebrate Raisa, who's not here right now, but she's going to be going back to Australia. And so on August 1st, we are going to be putting together a little bit of a celebration. And you know, we will be back then stronger than ever. So thank you guys so much for being here for the show. And anybody out there, you want to come join us for a little bit of shit talking and hanging out, you're welcome to, and we would love to have you guys. So good night. And from myself and the whole FreeFlow community, we love you guys. And go say you love your parents. You know what I mean? Say I love you to your mom. I'm going to do that for sure. So good night, guys. Bye.
Good night, everyone.